U.S. news and politicians always act like retributions are the first act. Hamas fires Katyusha rockets in response to an Israeli raid that kills civilians. Russia responds to Georgia's attack on peacekeepers. Iraqis plant IEDs to remove an occupation force that is looting their country's resources. Hezbollah captures 2 soldiers involved in a cross-border raid by the IDF into Lebanon. And the internationally owned corporate media and corporate-owned politicians here in the U.S.A. on all those occasions started with Act 2 in order that we and our allies are innocent victims instead of the greatest purveyors of terrorism and violence the rest of the world knows and reports, including the latest from Gaza. The rockets are fired in response to an IDF raid that killed civilians, yet Israel kills close to 400 now in retaliation to those rockets that killed, 4? And our tax dollars pay for it all. Not to mention the fact that, Israel pulled out of Gaza and immediately clamped down a blockade, denying them basic human rights, food, medicine, water. That never seems to get mentioned in the U.S. press. I reckon since Lebanon didn't work out like they had planned, a crushing blow by an invincible hand, they have, for the past year, been starving the Strip, amassing of troops, and not even giving lip service to humanity in the eyes of the world. You are condemned. From Holocaust survivors, you emulate your former enemy by suppressive, genocidal acts of bigotry. That you do this with approval of some God simply means that you are psychotic and deserve to crumble up like trash and be washed into the sea. In a world that knows the truth, only 2 nations stand at your side. British, who must do whatever your queen dictates. You've no choice but to abide. And the weapons industry, aka the U.S.A., who never let morals get in the way of profit, even when it's made by genocide. It seems the tale of the occupied White House criminal enterprise is leaving us with nothing but burning wars and endless painful cries, beaten down and broke to boot destroyers of our nation, soulless, evil, empty suits. Your grandpa's failing coup, your daddy's subterfuge, both bested by your evil, blatant lies. A new year dawns, yet weeks remain that we must bear the stench and fears that moldered in that White House 8 long years. It seemed each month, if not each week, the rotting smell had reached its peak. But then another venal act or lie would bring fresh tears. I know that you've been nothing but a puppet, ending the 100-year strut of the bankers' plans to destroy the U.S.A. It's that for once your endeavor has worked so well, You can claim one success in your road to hell. It's likely you're leaving us with nothing but illusions as you slip away. I'm sure your lawyers made you aware that if you leave this country, you'd best take care. For the international courts have ruled that if the U.S. does not arrest and try you, warrants will be issued. A just reward in a world you seem to have forgotten is with others shared. Simply leaving it out of our nightly news does not alter the truth of the rules you abuse. Unlike the financial burdens you gave our children's children, crimes of war and torture lay firmly on your shoulders. Your enhanced interrogations resulted in at least 8 deaths, complete with documentation, not to mention the deaths of 4,000 of our own soldiers. While I don't have much hope anymore for my nation, full of wage slaves too lazy and burdened to rise up in indignation, the rest of the world will not blindly absolve you. Ask your buddy Rumsfeld of his latest overseas excursion. Since you're likely unaware of your own new restrictions, the dangerous world you exacerbated is kind of fixated on a target you painted with you as a bullseye. And this is something I got a feeling you feel in your gut is true. Got a feeling you're going to spend the last few years of your miserly life drowning in drugs in an attempt to keep the truth at bay, but failing. And now, in Circle 5.